Howdy, hi. This is hopefully the third time's the charm. I've done this. This is the third time. I'm not sure what the copyright laws are about me quoting from reviews, so I'm not going to do that. I've read several different reviews of this game. Now, this is the fourth video. There is no gameplay in this. This is just, or I might splice gameplay onto it. But anyway, there's an assumption after, by the time the fourth game, that I'm going to continue a series and that I like the game. Now, I'm not saying much either way, except I probably will not finish the game. And if I knew exactly what, I don't know, I might have done it anyway, just because I like Daedalic, and I've thought about playing one of their adventures. And if I were playing one, I don't know. This is supposed to be one of their largest, and I don't think I'd go for that. But anyway, the reviews mentioned that some of the puzzles, or a lot of the, well, actually all the puzzles are not really consecutive to, like, you solve a puzzle and you get a new area or you get at the beginning of a new puzzle. It's more of a sandboxy feel where you can completely solve a puzzle and you've got nothing, or you think you have, and the last final element isn't even available where you are, and you have to move on without having any idea what happens with that and work on other puzzles and hope at some time. Pywack is closing in on me. It isn't raining, but it has rained, so the grass. Come on, Pie. Daddy's just talking. But you have to hope at some point in time some other puzzle you're working on will crank out the piece you need for that. Now that sounds kind of good because that way, everything's not obvious and simple. But both these several people that I've read that played the whole game that are experienced players, uh, one of them mentioned that at one point in several points in time, he had no choice but to go into his inventory and click on every item one at a time and click on it against everything and every screen he had open to try to find something he had missed. And this was more than once. And now that's not exactly my idea of fun. Um, Gosh, what else? Now, the rabbit is supposed to provide you with clues, but basically he just tells you what your original task was without doing that. Some of the clues are, well, obviously, if you're clicking on every item in your inventory, it wasn't, the clues weren't there. Now, what else was in all that? Oh, shite. Also, all reviews agree, and it's not like it's a secret or anything, but this is a children's story. The villains are basically crows and snakes wearing masks, and there is an evil wizard in it. But basically, it's a children's adventure story, fairy tale story about a kid that becomes an apprentice to a magical creature. It's not correct to say a magician, but I'm not real big on playing through games based on children's stories, if that makes any sense to you. Part of what I like about Deponia and Harvey's New Eyes is the raucous humor and the insanity, and they're not what I'd necessarily call adult, but there are in some parts, and they're from an adult perspective at least, an insane adult perspective. But basically, at heart, you're helping mice and owls, and you're helping the trees, and all that's great. But it was frequently compared to a combination of The Hobbit and Doctor Who. And I don't mean the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I mean The Hobbit, where Gandalf threw burning pine cones at the wolves and drove them off. So, I don't know. But anyway, if you like children's stories and if you like children's adventure stories and you want to play through one, that's a plus. And if you're not concerned about if, I don't know how to phrase it, if you really like the lengthy, very, very difficult puzzles that are kind of light on the clues is a good way to say it, then it's a good match. For me, you know, the kid's adventure story, if it were quick, it would be fine. And but the puzzles, you know, for me, Deponia and Harvey's New Eyes, the funny really made the puzzles worthwhile, and they kind of accented each other. And if you take out the funny for me, you better have a hell of an adventure and a hell of a protagonist. And I think Jerry's like a good kid. It's like, okay. So, but anyway, thanks for tuning in. I'd probably talk longer than I should have on this, but like I said, it's if I've played 4 or 5 or 6 videos of a game, it usually means I personally like the game, and I don't dislike this game at all. But I think the parts where I'm not going to be fond of it are going to be more towards the middle. In fact, I think they may be coming up now. There's a big chunk of video that got trashed that I'm going to go ahead and redo because I'm stubborn. But anyway, I thought I'd let you know where I stood on the game as a whole. I think for what it is, it's a very beautiful game, and that's it. So anyway, y'all take care of yourselves, and there will be a few more videos. It's not particularly hard. Well, redoing the part, I didn't solve Jack and the rest of what I did, so it's mainly me wandering around and talking to people unsuccessfully. And that may be a hint as to whether you want to watch the videos or not. But you haven't seen Mousetown yet, and you haven't seen the Wise Owl and yada yada yada. So, but I'm already hitting some of the. Could you move this along a little bit for me? So, anyway, y'all take care. And this is a part of the film that we fill up just in case YouTube snips its little butt off. I should probably memorize some dirty limericks to tell you. Of course, this is a kid's story, so I'd be screwed on that when probably memorize some clean limericks to tell you. I don't think I know any.